College. I hope you've already had a really good look round. You've quizzed our students who have given you tours, you've met the teachers, and you're nicely warmed up for me, and will be a great audience. My job is to really explain to you how we go about things at the college, what we do and why we do it, so that by the time our students leave us, they leave us as these happy, confident, really set up for the next stage in their education. And this was taken at the prom just as they left us last year. This job gets tougher each year because anyone who knows Catmose knows that we don't rest on our laurels. We continually try to improve and continually look at doing more and making it better. And so this speech has got more and more challenging. So I've decided to rely on a photograph this year. And I'm a bit of an amateur photographer. I'm a science teacher by trade, still enjoy teaching some physics. But I also like photography in my spare time, and I've been asked this year to join the photography tour to Iceland. We're doing a GCSE tour, and we're going to have a look around Iceland and try and do some night photography and catch the northern lights. It's this beautiful phenomenon that lights the whole sky, really difficult to catch, and so I decided I would go and try and capture the Milky Way. The Milky Way is this big group of stars, which is the part of where we are in the galaxy. And you can capture it if you get lucky on a clear night, look in the right direction with very little light pollution. And I was reasonably pleased with that shot, in that I've caught some really nice bright stars. You can start to see the little cloudy milkiness, that's why it's called the Milky Way, the milkiness of the Milky Way, but you've got some light pollution. We get that from the local town. But I came back, and although I was pleased with it, I did a lot of work, and I sharpened the photo, so those stars that were already quite bright, I made them a little brighter. I found detail that on the first photo you can't see, and things that were okay, but actually with some fine work on Photoshop, I was able to really bring out the detail. So hopefully the difference between the first and the second is obvious, and we've got a really, really nice photograph. And for me, it encapsulates what we try and do at Catmose. Students who arrive to us in Year 6 have already got some strengths. They're already bright stars. They may be very good in academic, they might be great at English or in their maths. They may be good sports people already or musicians. But like this photograph, that's not where we stop. What we try and do for you is to work on those things and make them even better. We try and find those things that you may not think you're going to be very good at. You may not have enjoyed a primary and say, come on, we can do more on this and make that better. And of course, we also endeavour to uncover those talents that you don't even know you've got at the moment. So that by the time you leave us, you can shine as brightly as you possibly can. Our approach to the college is about the many. And what I mean by that is, when I go back to my own school life, back in the 80s, what still strikes me is that we weren't allowed in until lessons started. At breaks and lunch times, we had to leave the building and the staff disappeared into staff rooms. And some of you might recognise that from your own school. We had a computer room, but we were never allowed in it. I got to go in it once in 5 years. If you weren't into football, and I wasn't, then you had nothing to do in terms of extracurricular. And the way we run the college is the complete opposite of that. Students can come from 8 in the morning, they can stay till 5, they can access any of the facilities they wish, there are no locked doors, they can use our computers, they can go into the practice rooms, they can work in the library, and they can do that any day of the week. Because our belief is that our students are good people, and our default position should be that we trust them, because this is their school as much as it is ours. We chose not to have a staff room, because we want to work alongside our students, so that when you go into the refectory or the restaurant, you will see our staff queuing with our students, and sitting down and eating with them, and that's how we go about everything that we do. It's for the many, not for the small number of students who may need that extra bit of help and support to get back on track. Perhaps the easiest way to measure our success is through examination results. And I've chosen here just how well we do in English and maths, compared to the national, which is the red line. And as you can see, the college performs significantly higher than the national, and has done for at least the last 10 years. We take a comprehensive intake, national average intake, and we produce grammar school outcomes. And we do that year on year, and although the national results have barely improved over the last 3 or 4 years, Catmose College results continue to improve, so that well over 80% of our students leave with good GCSEs in both English and maths. But that attainment isn't good enough for us. What we want is our students to do the best they possibly can. And so when you compare our students, our average Catmose students, with a student in an average school, our students getting 2 GCSE grades higher. For our more able students, that rises to 3. You'll also notice this long list of students that scroll past you. Those are students who've done exceptionally well. Nearly 60 of them achieved at least 5 A's and A stars. Another 30 or 40 achieved the highest rate of progress that the government asks us for. We care about every single student, whether they are the brightest or students need extra support, and we make sure they do as well as they possibly can, so that they are ready for their next steps. We're not, however, an exams factory. That's not what Catmose is about. What we offer is a very broad and balanced curriculum. We still offer the arts subject, we still offer the technology subject. If your student is talented in music, they can do a GCSE in music. If they're talented in sport, they can do a full GCSE in sport. If they're good at computing, they can do computer science GCSE. If they're looking to be a future science or a medic, they can do physics, chemistry and biology as separate sciences. And they will do well. The average grade in the separate sciences was a grade A. This is not the national picture. It saddens me that nationally, despite the creative arts being one of our most successful economic products, nationally for state schools, there's been a big decline in some of these subjects that I've just mentioned. And I've seen that when I interview students for our partner school, Harrington, to go on to A-levels, where students from Catmose come along, not only with that confidence, that ability to engage and talk with an adult, but also the life skills and the qualifications they need for the next steps. Because what we focus on, not just what they're doing at Catmose, but what they need for the future. And it's saddened me to interview some what were quite able students from local schools who actually were doing qualifications that did not lead them onto A-levels very easily. We won't do that, because although it might help our league table position, it's not right for our students. I've got a lovely picture here of Andrew. Andrew is one of my best maths teachers. And I was taking the mick out of him a little bit earlier about this. I was going to feature in my speech. But the truth of the matter is we're not a team of individuals at Catmose. There's strength in depth. I handpick every single teacher that will be teaching your children next year. I do that on every single interview. I don't delegate it to one of my vice principals, I do it myself. And the reason for that is quite simple. I have 2 children, they attend Catmose Primary, and when they come here, and they will, I want to ensure they are taught by the very best teachers, just as you do. And so when I'm making those appointments, I'm thinking, would I be happy if my daughters were taught by this person? Because if I'm not, why would I appoint them? And so every teacher in Catmose is an excellent teacher, and I'm confident that your children will be taught well in every subject, whichever teacher they happen to have. And that's why we don't single out individual teachers or individual departments, because there's strength right across the curriculum at the college. Enough of the exam results. I think that what goes on outside of the classroom is just as important as what goes in it. I'm an employer, I've just alluded to that. And when I employ people, of course qualifications matter. They open the door, don't they? They let you in. They persuade someone that you're worth a look and you're worth interviewing. But actually, what gets you the job and what gets you promotion is all of those other skills that are not easily examined, aren't they? Those teamwork, resilience, leadership skills, a good sense of humour. You see that as part of our job as well. And that's why we do a huge range of different things over the years. So many, actually, I really struggle to choose just 3 to talk about. So these are the 3 I went for. These are Year 8 students who are really interested in science and technology. And they applied to take part in this day, but they spent the day over in Harrington working with universities and local businesses to solve problems for them. There's a computer there at the front deliberately because they spent the day programming this group and they were solving a problem using some engineering tools, and then they presented that. Great teamwork skills, great leadership skills, the ability to present, never appear on a GCSE, but how important is that? Similarly, these students went down as part of our team at the V&A Museum in London, a national design competition run by the BBC. Our students won, and their work has been promoted heavily on the BBC around the refugee issue. It was their work that was used by the BBC to promote those programmes. One as part of a national competition. Life skills that you cannot do in the classroom. And then finally at the top, I won't spend too much time on this one because the guy in the middle, Joe, is our head boy who sat here and he will speak later. This is our Youth Speaks team. This is our public speaking. And we have all 5, 6, 7 or 8 public speaking teams. This is our senior one, and we're very proud of them because they got through to the national finals. They're one of the top 7 teams in the country. And they're not competing against comprehensives, they're competing against the independent sector, and they're competing against the top grammar schools, and they're beating them. Because that's what we aim to do. We love competition, very friendly of course, and we like winning even more. And there's nothing more than winning, is there? Other than perhaps losing. I think one of the great things about sport is in a safe environment learning how to lose, how to fail. Because our students are well protected, aren't they? Quite rightly. But this is an adult world that they're going into that's tough at times. And so we need to teach them how to learn how to fail. And I think sport is a great way to do it. You work as part of a team. Yes, sometimes you win, and we like winning, but actually it's when you lose you find out more about yourself. How do you pick yourself back up again? How do you brush yourself off? How do you work with your teammates so that you pull yourself and go to the next match and make sure you win it? Now, we've done that in the local competition against, you can see the local schools. UCC is our closest rival, still nearly 100 points ahead, double the points of Casterton. We don't talk about Longfield very much. But actually, the trouble is, at the moment, we've stopped losing. I think one of our football teams won 10-0 last week, and the parents quite rightly were complaining. One of our teams was down 2 men because of illness. They still managed a 3-3 draw. Some going. And so we've moved on a bit from the Rutland and Melton competition. And we're more now focusing on the national and regional competitions. Last year we entered teams into the netball and the rugby, competing against all of the schools in Leicestershire and Leicester, as well as Rutland. And I'm pleased to say both the rugby team and the netball team are both champions. And so we need to push them a bit harder, perhaps, for the national competitions. But we're doing that as well. This photograph represents the athletics competition, which is a national competition. It's the School Sports Cup, and that's competing nationally. First year of entry, we got to the regional finals. So we didn't perhaps win. I was still pleased to get that far in the first year. This year, we've also entered the cross-country national competition. I don't know how many of you currently learn music. My children are both learning music. One's playing the piano, one's playing the flute. And I have to be honest, at times it's excruciating, isn't it? Because day in, day out, you make them practice, and the improvement's slow at times. But isn't that an important skill? And again, it goes back to that practice and failing in a safe way and gradually getting better and better. And of course, the other side of the music, there's no greater sense of pride, I don't think, as a parent or as a student than performance. This is our jazz band. Some of you have heard them playing tonight during open evening. This was them playing during an assembly. The previous photographs I took during our Christmas concerts, the spring concerts. And we also enter competitions for that as well, you won't be surprised to hear. And here are our choir, and very young students as well. These are year 7s and 8s people. Off to the Royal Albert Hall to perform on that national venue. What a great experience. And of course, that's the great thing about music, is yes, there's the practice, but there's also the performance where you get to celebrate just how far you've come and how well you've done. And so we've got about a third of our students learning a musical instrument. So if you've not already started, it's not too late. It's such a great thing to do. We've got 20 different instrumental teachers, 3 full-time music teachers. Again, a really great team, and again, real strength. Right, this slide always plays up. Transition, I think, really important. Making sure that those nervous people in the audience, and yes, I'm talking about the parents, not the students, because you are far more nervous than your child is, about making sure we get that transition right. It starts as soon as you've been accepted. We talk to your primary schools, we learn about all those wonderful things you're already capable of doing, we find out the things you need some sort of support and help for, we put you in tutor groups that help that, and then you start, and that's where the transition work really starts at Catmose, when you're in the building and we can work with you every single day. And this is one of my favourite things that we do with Year 7. This young man is a star. He's starring in his tutor group performance of Pass the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. The students go and they go and see the full West End show. They then go and work with the actors in the workshops, and then their curriculum during the week, when they come back, is to learn and the parts and perform and do the choreography and do the directing, and then ultimately reassure you in the summer just how well they've settled into the school by performing live to you with the live music in the background. This year's Year 7s are off to see Aladdin. Who knows where you guys will go? I promise you it'll be wonderful, and it's an experience you will never forget, like so many other things at the college. Some students then really get the bug, so we put on big full shows as well. Last year was High School Musical. Every year there's something, more and more. About 200 students get involved. They get involved not just in the obvious places, like here, doing the performance, doing the acting. They do the choreography. It's not the dance teacher who does the choreography. It's some of those students in the background worked out the routine, taught it to their friends, and then put the show on. Tonight, you can hopefully hear me wonderfully and see me wonderfully, and we've got a Year 8 student helping behind the scenes tonight as part of our tech team. They do the same on these shows. These students don't perform to karaoke music with a bit of a soundtrack in the background. They're performing to a live band, which are playing the full West End score. So that high level of performance I've talked about with the examination also runs through sport, also runs through music, and also runs through the performances we put on. We also do performing arts tours. Last year they went to New York, saw Broadway shows, saw off-Broadway shows, worked with Broadway actors, and of course got to go to Times Square. This year, a bit more local, they're off to Amsterdam. And they'll do some performances, they'll do some flash mobbing, where they'll suddenly start performing in the square, and start dancing and singing, and they'll bring in the crowd. And again, what a great experience, what confidence building. And that's what we're about. And if none of that interests you, none of those trips, we offer a few others. These are just last year's. All trips very carefully designed to enhance what's going on in the classroom, to build on those experiences, and give your children experiences they will never forget. And we do bring them back from the workhouse. Well, no, stop. We love our electives programme. It's our most popular thing for students, parents and staff. Every 6 weeks, students choose a different elective. So 6 different electives over the course of the year. There's cultural ones, art ones, music ones, sport ones. And I've chosen just a selection. Fencing is very popular, as is the water sports. This young chap was a bit nervous on the horse. It's his first time. But again, what a great thing to try. I didn't try it until I was in my 30s, and it scared the living daylights out of me, but I'm glad I had a go. On the other hand, some of you might already have a horse. Believe it or not, we also have an equine team, who also win lovely rosettes. This is my favourite and my proudest moment of the last year. It's not a great screenshot, because I took it off the telly. In fact, I interrupted my governor's meeting for this photograph, because this is Atlanta, who's doing the BBC breakfast news for us. We have a media team who's known nationally of that calibre that they'll be invited to do the news live, not recorded, live. They did the handover for the studio and did it back. There's a team of 5 students involved at the LEC in Birmingham in March last year. And genuinely, I stopped my governor's meeting to watch it, and I've still got tingles down my spine now when I think about it. These are the electives that we're running at the moment. Students choose, obviously guided by their parents, but what we do ask is they do some art, some culture and some physical, so again we're developing that broader character. Lots to think about, so I'll leave you reading that, and I'm going to hand over to my head boy and head girl, Molly and Joe, who will talk about their experiences for just a few minutes. Thank you.
Now, tonight, it's our pleasure to share with you our individual experiences here at Catmose. Hopefully convincing you to come and allow us to support you as you forge your own individual path.
Nothing excites me more, ladies and gentlemen, than standing in front of an audience and sharing with them my beliefs and experiences. 4.5 years ago, I would have been able to do that. Because when I started Catmose, I would talk to no one. I would get involved in nothing. And I struggled to find what it was that made me unique, what it was that I was good at and enjoyed. If time travel were indeed possible, ladies and gentlemen, I would go back and give my younger self a huge wake-up call. Was there any reason for me not to get involved, to meet new people, and to succeed? It was only through the support of Catmose staff and the opportunities that are on offer here that allowed me to come out of my shell and become part of the Catmose community.
Now, I was the complete opposite of Joe when I first joined Catmose. I enjoyed sport and quickly signed myself up for teams, making many new friends just as quick along the way. I also had my eye on the prize academically from the word go. Fortunately, accessing the wide range of opportunities available to me throughout my time at Catmose has been no more difficult than batting an eyelid. Well, the only difficult thing is choosing what to participate in. My determination to immerse myself in a new environment and to try new things has meant that I've slotted right in at Catmose, like I've been here forever. The school has got me to exactly where I want to be, and has given me the opportunity to achieve my full potential right from the beginning of Year 7.
Looking back on my time at Catmose, there are many things that will stay with me for the rest of my life. I started to take assemblies during the EU referendum, which got me into politics. I started to teach maths and music after school, which found me my dream career. And I formed a band with my maths teacher, which allowed me to explore my musicianship in front of the entire school.
And I must say, once you see your maths teacher rocking out heavy metal, you are never the same again. And another opportunity that's helped us to achieve our academic potential is the Academic Scholarship Programme, supporting subject specialists in Years 9, 10 and 11, and helping them to build a portfolio for the future. The work we do within our subject areas does not necessarily just affect us as individuals, but also has an impact on those at Key Stage 3 and of course Catmose Primary. For me, having that impact is really important, as it gives us the opportunity to create work that we can see in action and really be proud of. Working with so many intelligent, passionate people makes me feel so honoured to have this opportunity.
One of the best challenges that I took on, ladies and gentlemen, was Youth Skills, a public speaking competition that allowed me, along with my teammates, to voice our opinions all over the country. When I started, I asked myself, what on earth have I done? But that was before we went on to win the first round. Several months later, we were one of the top 7 teams in Britain and Ireland. That, ladies and gentlemen, is progress. There I was, stood in front of an audience of over 200 people in the national final of Youth Skills. And that is what Catmose College is all about. Life brings with it a number of challenges, most of which are opportunities to develop and learn. And that is exactly what Youth Speaks did for me, a skill for life. And all thanks to the opportunities and the support offered here at Catmose.
Another thing that's particularly unique to our college is the huge range of electives that are on offer. Year 7s get their first taste of the elective programme in their second term at Catmose, and let me tell you, choosing only 6 options has never been harder. For me, I've never been particularly arty, I never would have chosen to do mixed media jewellery or painting. But in choosing these electives, I discovered my artistic side. Now, as I said at the beginning of our talk, all opportunities available at Catmose, from academia to sport, are there to support you in forging your path to your future.
Ladies, gentlemen, and prospective fellow students, we'd like to thank you for listening this evening. And if we may, we'd like to leave you with a quote. It was none other than Albert Einstein who once said, "I have no special talent. I am just passionately curious." If you're keen to discover and learn, you're up for a challenge, and you want to forge your future, then Catmose College is undoubtedly the best choice for you. Thank you very much.
Last slide from me, and I like this. This is Neil Mullinger, one of my maths teachers, cracking teacher, and someone who grabbed me and said, "You take a photograph of my tutor group," because they were leaving, and he'd been with them for 5 years and has thoroughly enjoyed every moment, and as you can see from their faces, so have they. And I like that photograph so much that when the new Year 7s came in this year, I said we should grab them at the beginning and do a photo. Here they are. This is the equivalent tutor group. Who've now replaced these guys. I think I still slightly amused by the length of the sleeves. Have you not noticed? Year 7s are down here, Year 11s are up here. I'm guessing that some of them have got the same blazer for a while. But the thing that I think is characteristic about both those photos, whether you're at the beginning of your journey or the end, is just how happy you are. And that is the core of what we do. We want our students to be happy, engaged learners who love coming to college. And you see that in things like our attendance data, which is so high. It's higher than what you get in primary schools, because actually our students love coming to college. And that's a great start for learning, isn't it? So let's not take my word for it. I'm going to ask Amy. Tom, thank you, sorry, it's been a long night. Tom and Amy, who you won't forget, I can guarantee, who would just say the last few words, please. I think they deserve a round of applause.
Hello, my name is Amy and I'm a new Year 7 student at Catmose College. When the Year 7s first attended college, they felt nervous as a step from junior school can be tough. However, all the teachers in the college supported the students by giving guidance around the school and rewarding the hard-working students with houseboys to contribute towards a house badge. From the word go, a wide range of extra activities and after-school clubs were available to the Year 7s. Some of these included student council, choir, football, music lessons and netball, which I'm a member of, and I'm pleased to say that we have won the first 3 matches of the season. Trips are also a big part of Catmose. We have already had many opportunities to go on trips, such as the English trip to John Clare's house, an art trip to Burley House, and an exciting opportunity to go to London to support our upcoming theatre production, Aladdin. Homework is always a worrying situation for new Year 7s. However, the Show My Homework site is an easy-to-use website and supports our learning environment. I hope telling you about the college supports your decision you have to make in the near future, and it is important to know that coming here will your child not only be happy and safe, but will achieve your full potential. Thank you.
I remember when I came to Catmose College open evening last year, learning about my new school. This made me really excited, but I was still a little bit nervous. Then the first day came. Everyone older than me. But soon I realised all of the older peers just wanted to help you out when you needed help. For example, if you got lost, just ask an older peer and you'll be in your class in no time. Let's not forget the extracurricular activities. Recently, I joined the drama club and I really enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed how some of the older students came to support the club. Don't forget, I was in your shoes 1 year ago. Don't worry, it's not that big. Thank you.
I don't think there's any greater testament than Tom and Amy there, who are future stars. They're going to certainly make my life really difficult when it comes to choosing head boy and head girl in a few years' time. I'm going to leave it there, but what I will say to you is, if you haven't already, the BBC has done a great guide for parents about open evenings and what to look for and what not to. Of course, you've done the right thing. You've turned up on open evening, you've brought your child, you've watched me speak, you've been for a tour. The bit that I wasn't so keen on was the bit about asking the head challenging questions. But if you do have any, I will be here at the end and I'll be more than happy to do so. Thank you for listening.